ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। 91st class. वासुदेवेन्द्रयोगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुम्
वासुदेवेन्द्रयोगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुम्
मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते।
मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय
तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते।
एतेभ्यः पञ्चीकृतपञ्चमहाभूतेभ्यः
पञ्चीकृतपञ्चमहाभूतेभ्यः
स्थूलशरीरं भवति।
स्थूलशरीरं भवति।
एवं
पिण्डब्रह्माण्डयोः
ऐक्यं सम्भूतम्।
ऐक्यं सम्भूतम्।
Having discussed the Srishti at the level of total and at the level of individual, the author says here, Pinda, that is individual, and Brahmanda, the total, both are one, Aikyam. But here the oneness not in terms of size, since both are made from the same material. What is in the total is same is there in the individual. That which is in samashti, that which out of which the samashti is created, from the same material only this vyashti is also created. Samashti, the prapancha, which is made of pancha mahabhutani and pancha bhautikani. The vyashti also, the vyashti shariram also, sharira, mana, indriyas, they are also made of the same. So from the standpoint of upadhanam, that is the material, it is same. So in terms of the material, it is same, but not in even in terms of the material. Only in terms of material only it is same, not in terms of the size, not in terms of the magnitude. Because compared to the individual, the total is huge. The macrocosm, the prapancha is huge, and the individual is limited. The total is also limited. Both are upadhi only, but there is a difference in terms of the size, the magnitude of the upadhi. Therefore, in terms of size, there is no oneness. In terms of magnitude, there is no oneness. They are different. The water in the glass and the water in the ocean, both are water. But in terms of size, in terms of the power, they are not same. They are different. In terms of material, both are H2O. They are same. So, therefore, Aikyam Sambhutam. There is an Aikyam, oneness, from the standpoint of the material cause. From the standpoint of Upadhanam, it is same. Now, the Tatparyam of the Shastram is not to establish the sameness at the level of the material, this material, Upadhanam. That is not the Tatparyam of the Shastram. The Swarupam of the total, the nature of the total, and the nature of the individual. They are same in spite of the difference in size, in spite of difference in power, or in other factors. They are same in terms of principle. They are same in terms of the content. They are same in terms of its swarupa. That is what the Tatparyam of the Shastram. The water in the glass, it is H2O. The ocean also, it is H2O. Both are H2O only. So similarly, the small pot made from clay and the huge pot made from clay. From the standpoint of clay, they are same, but it is both are nothing but clay. Essentially, both are same. Both are nothing but clay. The size is different. The size of the pots, which being the size is nothing but the size. The difference in size is nothing but the difference in the material, the weight of the material. But the material is only clay. So essentially, both are clay. Both are made of the same material. So even though they are different in size, but both are of the same the material. So that is the Aikyam. In fact, that is the example we take. That is the example we take to establish the Aikyam at the Swarupa level. For that, we say both are made of clay. Both of made of clay means not just in terms of material alone. The Swarupa of clay, the Swarupa of small pot is clay, the Swarupa of big pot is also clay. So clay is nothing but clay. Looking upon both as clay. That is the vision. That is the vision a person who really understand the nature of the object, a pot, nature of the object, pot here. He doesn't see it as two different parts. He see it as just it as clay. Because small pot or big pot, a pot is a pot, it is just a name and got a form. Name and form, they are mithya. They do not really exist independent of clay. Clay exists independently. Therefore, seeing it as clay, understanding the Yamarupa as mithya. So that is the example we take. That is the content of even the example we take to establish the Aikyam at the Swarupa level of the Jiva and the Ishvara. So we should not get confused that when we give the example of pot and clay, this pot and clay example we give, it's the best example. That is not just to show that the material, from the standpoint of the material, it is same. It is not just only to show that, it is just to show that material is clay, the content is clay, the swarupam is clay, the nature of both the parts are nothing but clay. So clay is satyam and the namarupa is mithya. We present the swarupam of the objects. So the same pot clay example we give. Okay, because there is a possibility one may think, here we talk about Pinda Brahmanda Yogo Aikyam. So here the Pinda, the individual and the total, both are of the same material. Therefore, Aikyam, we say oneness. Is it what we are saying when we talk about the oneness at the Swarupa level with the Drishtanta pot clay? No, there is a difference. When we give the pot clay example, there is a difference. That example is given not just from the Upadana standpoint. Example is given to establish the oneness at the Swarupa level. So that example, pot clay example, it holds good both from the standpoint of the material as well as from the standpoint of this Swarupa. We will discuss this later. Anyway, we'll understand better. So here, this Aikyam, what is talked about, the oneness, it is only from the standpoint of the material, Upadana. It is only standpoint of Upadana. Now, since both are of the same material, now we can analyze, now we will analyze this nature of Pinda and nature of Brahmanda. Nature of Pinda is Panchamahabhuta, out of which they are made, and nature of Brahmanda also Panchamahabhuta. What is there to discuss? No. It is, you're talking only about the material. You're talking only about the material out of which it has come, but it is not just the material. Material doesn't stand apart from, separately from, or exists independent of the nimitta, that is Brahma, because that is what we saw. Brahmashaya Maya, Sattva Rajastamo Gunatmika. From that only Akasha Vayu iti. So Brahma is there and Maya is the Upadana Karma. So what we have discussed so far is only the material. That material doesn't exist apart from Brahma. So therefore, the Nimitta Karanam, which is Brahma, that has to be, that Aikyam at the level of Nimitta, the Brahma, the consciousness has to be discussed, because Upadhi, the Upadhi, which is created, Upadhi at the level of individual and the total, which is created from Maya Sakita Brahma, and the content of the material standpoint, both are Aikyam, there is oneness, we say, from the material standpoint. Now, from the standpoint of Swarupa, when we say, then we have to talk about the Brahma at the total and the Brahma at the individual. Brahma means consciousness, Chaitanyam at the total level, Chaitanyam at the individual level. At the individual level, there are many jivas are there. Therefore, many Chaitanyams, consciousness, Atmas, otherwise we call Atma the individual. The name given to consciousness at the total is called Brahma, otherwise called Ishvara, otherwise called Bhagavan. The name given to the consciousness at the individual level is called Atma. So Brahma and Atma are there Aikyam between the two. That is what is going to be discussed, and that is a Tatparyam of the Shastram also. Now the question comes. There are many jivas, therefore there must be many Atmas. Many jivas means many upadhis are there, different, many body, mind, senses, different bodies, because many jivas, many pranis are there, from the smallest insect to the human being. Many types of beings are there, having different body, mind, and senses at their level. So it is upadhis are many, and each has Atma, Pratyahatma, the Chaitanyam. From the mosquito, it is there, from mosquito to the human being. Why from the mosquito? Even from the smallest amoeba to the human being, it is there. And at the total also, it is that Bhagavan, total Brahma. Now, are they same? Are they different? That is what we are going to discuss. For that only, the Shastram presents two models. Last class, I explained two types of the model. The truth, the Tatparyam. The Tatparyam, the nature of the Jiva and the nature of the Bhagavan, Ishvara, that is Brahma, Atma, consciousness, the Chaitanyam, that is the truth, that is the Satyam, and that is presented or revealed by two models. Two models, the models are called Avachedavada and Pratibhimbavada. These are models, just models to explain the differences, what we perceive in the Vyavahara, in the Prapancha, the differences. Different jivas are there, therefore you interact with them, and at the total level, Ishvara is there, so Bhagavan is there, so therefore the differences are there. The differences has to be explained. Are they real or they are Mithya? For that, this understanding of models will help. So two types of models are generally presented. One is avacheda, other one is pratibimba. The model of space and the model of light. So in avachedavada, it is in avachedavada, avacheda means limitation, differences. Pratibimba is reflection. So therefore, the reflection of light, based on the reflection of light, based on the light example, the vada which is presented is pratibimba vada. Bimba, pratibimba. Bimba is the image, and the pratibimba is the reflected image. So that is the model. Here the author he uses to present the differences, to present the as though appearing differences. The differences are not real. So to present that, he uses these models. Because what we are interested, what Shastram is interested, this Brahma and Atma, they are one. This Jivatma and Paramatma, they are one. Because many Jivas are there, it doesn't mean there are many Atmas. But at the level of our experience, there seems to be many Atmas. To explain that only, how that one total Brahma, one total consciousness, appear to be many limited consciousness. Consciousness cannot be limited. How it appears as though to be the limited consciousness, that is Jivas, the model is used. And the model what here the author presents is Pratibimba Vada. Vada means a model. So Pratibimba, Bimba, Pratibimba. So sun is there, and the reflection of the sun, the sun which is in the sky, or the light of the sun, that is called Bimba. The light, that is the original light, the light which comes from the original source, that is the light. Then when you see your image in the mirror, your face is Bimba. So you are the original and you see the face in the Bimba. Now the reflection of your face in the mirror, it's called Pratibimba. It is called Pratibimba. So the mirror is the medium of reflection, medium of whether it is mirror or water, anything you can take. It is called Upadhi. It is called Upadhi. So there is a medium of reflection, mirror or water or any clean surface where reflection is possible. That is called Upadhi. So where the sunlight is reflected, where the sunlight is reflected. That not all the objects can reflect sunlight. Stone cannot reflect sunlight, whereas a mirror can reflect sunlight. The water can reflect sunlight. So Bimba is there, and the reflection is there, and the reflecting medium is there. So three things are there. Bimba is your face, what is reflected. Your face is Bimba, that is the original one object, or your original one. And the reflection in the mirror or the water, it is called Pratibimba. And the medium, and the medium of reflection, that is called Upadhi. So three names we can understand. With this understanding, we will read the next line. Stula Sharira Abhimani.
Stula Sharira Abhimani.
Jivanamakam Brahma.
Jivanamakam Brahma.
Pratibimbam bhavati.
प्रतिबिम्बं
प्रतिबिम्बं
भवति
भवति
Sayeva jivaha.
स
स
एव
एव जीवः
जीवः
Prakritya.
प्रकृत्या
प्रकृत्या
Swasmat Ishwaram Bhinnattvena Janati.
स्वस्मात्
तस्मात्
तस्मात्
ईश्वरं
ईश्वरं
भिन्नत्वेन
भिन्नत्वेन
जानाति
जानाति
So what is this Pratibimbam is being said here? That is what is Jiva. Pratibimba. Jiva is Pratibimba. Brahma Pratibimba. Bimbam. Bimbaha. Brahma Pratibimbam Jivanamakam. So, who is a Jiva? Jivaha Jivanamakam. Jivanamakam Jiva Yasya Saha. Who is called Jiva? The Brahma Pratibimbam. The reflection of Brahma is known by the name Jiva. Pratibimba is reflection. Reflection of what? Reflection of Brahma. Brahma Pratibimbam Jiva Namakam Bhavati. And who has got the Abhimana with this Stula Shariram? The individual Stula Shariram. Stula Sharira Abhimani Jiva Namakam Brahma Pratibimbam Bhavati. Now, what is that Brahma? Brahma is that which is total, limitless consciousness, Chaitanya. This Brahma, it has Pratibimba, the reflected. The Brahma which is reflected is called Jiva. So Jiva is the reflection of Brahma. Like the image is there which is reflected in the mirror. It is like that, it's a reflection. So the reflection, the reflected Brahma is called Jiva. So the Brahma is there and the reflection of Brahma. So Brahma has to be there. So Brahma is there and the reflection is there of Brahma. That is called Jiva. Therefore, without Brahma, where is Jiva? Without the original image, where is the reflection? If you don't stand in front of the mirror, there is no reflection of your face in the mirror. So you have to be there. The original has to be there. So Brahma is there. And therefore, only you see the reflection in the mirror. And what is reflected, that is called Jiva. Now, therefore, Jiva is Satyam or Mithya. The reflected image is not Satyam. Without the original, it doesn't exist. So, therefore, Brahma, which is the total, the limitless consciousness, which is manifesting in a particular upadhi, this Sharira, upadhi, that is called Jiva. That is the same Brahma. Brahma is only Ekam, it is limitless, total, the same Brahma alone appearing in a particular upadhi, Jiva upadhi, that is called Jiva. So, therefore, Jiva Namakam Brahma Pratibimbam Bhavati. Therefore, Jiva is nothing but a manifestation of Brahma, is an appearance of Brahma in a particular upadhi. And this Jiva is Stula Sharira Abhimani, identified with this limited gross Shariram, body. Abhimana is Abhimanaha Yasya Asti, Saha Abhimani, the one who has Abhimana, identification with the Shariram, the Upadhi. Upadhi is Shariram, Sharira, Manas, and Indriyas. So it's called Upadhi. The Jiva, therefore, which is nothing but the manifestation or reflection, we use, since we use the model, reflection model, therefore we say reflection. Reflection is just a word we use because of the model, the reflection, the image and that reflection in the mirror or in the water. So we use the word reflection. It is not You should not think that something is there, Brahma is there and is reflected. Not literally reflection. It is manifestation. Reflection means manifestation. So therefore, Jiva is nothing but manifestation, appearance of the same total limitless Brahma in a particular Upadhi, that Stula Shariram. The Jiva is therefore Stula Sharira Abhimani. Jiva is nothing but the manifestation of this Brahma. So that Upadhi is the Upadhi is the reflecting medium, as in the model. Three things we have seen: Bimba, Pratibimba, and the Upadhi. Bimba is the image, original image, and reflection in the mirror, that is Pratibimba, and the mirror is the reflecting medium, that is Upadhi. Similarly, here also, that is a model, and here, applying the model here, Brahma is their original, and it is reflected in the mirror. The reflection of Brahma as though in the reflecting medium called Upadhi, and there is a reflection which is called Jiva. Now the reflecting mediums are many Upadhis are there. There are many mirrors. You have to imagine the Drishtanta as an example. It is being explained. There are many mirrors are there, therefore many images. You being only one person, surrounding you, you are standing in a glass room made of glasses. So many glasses are there. There is so many reflection. You, the image being only one, the reflected images are many because of different upadhis. Similarly, Brahma being Ekam, it is one limitless consciousness being there. Because of the different upadhi, there is different jivas. And the jivas have got abhimana with this shariram. Jiva has got abhimana with this shariram. So, therefore, stula sharira abhimani jiva namakam brahma pratibhimbam bhavati. Therefore, is nothing but the manifestation of Brahma. The upadhi, it's translated in English as adjunct. Upadhi is this sharira upadhi. Karana shariram, Sukshma Shariram, and this Stula Shariram. Antakarana, the mind, is also Upadhi. The mind, that is also the Upadhi. Antakaranam, this Stula Shariram, they are all Upadhi. Now, there is a difference. There is a difference between this Shariram, the Stula Shariram, and the Antakaranam, the mind, there is a difference. Stula Shariram is, both are Jadam only. Both are Jada only. Stula Shariram is also Jada, Antakaranam is also Jada. But Antakaranam, even though it is Jada, even though it is an inert material, but it is something like a polished material. Like all are objects only, but not that sunlight is reflected in all the objects. Only in the mirror it is reflected, not in the stone. Not in the stone or not in the wood, it is not reflected. It is reflected in the mirror. Similarly, Shariram is also Jada, Antakaranam is also Jada, but in the Antakaranam, this Chaitanyam is reflected. So, the Brahma which is reflecting in the Antakaranam, that is also Jada, it is not just a material. Therefore, the Antakaranam is the Upadhi. Antakaranam is Upadhi. So, therefore, this Jiva, who is nothing but Brahma, reflected in the Antakaranam. The Antakaranam, otherwise it is called Avidya. The Antakaranam, otherwise called, it is Avidya. Antakaranam has got another name. The next sentence the author will explain that it is avidya. There we will discuss. This antakaranam, otherwise called avidya, the reflection of the Brahma, the manifestation of the Brahma in the antakaranam, it is called jiva. So therefore, the jiva which is reflected in the karana shariram and therefore identified with the sukshma shariram and the stula shariram. When we say stula sharira abhimani means it is not only it has abhimana with the stula shariram, it has abhimana with the it has abhimana with the antakaranam, that is the sukshma shariram, as well as the karana shariram. It is as well as karana shariram also. So 3 shariram. Even stula shariram is said. Stula shariram means we have to understand. Stula shariram alone cannot exist without sukshma shariram. And sukshma shariram means it has got karana shariram. So sharira traya abhimani. So jiva is sharira traya abhimani, identified with the 3 sharira. Stula shariram, sukshma shariram and karana shariram. And sukshma is nothing but this antakaranam, the mind, where only the thinking, the cognition, everything is possible. Body cannot think, mind alone thinks. So therefore, mind is made of sattva. Therefore, that it is a fine upadhi. It's a different type of upadhi, different upadhi than this body. The body, which is jada, it's a upadhi made of this panchamahabhuta, and therefore it has got, and it goes further combination. Then it has become this skin, muscle, blood, etc. But antakaranam is not like that. It is subtle. It is subtle, and it is also a jada only. It is also a jadam only, made of the same material, subtle material as this gross body is made of. It has got the capacity, it has got the power, the capacity to reflect consciousness. Therefore, only your mind thinks. Your mind, you can see what you think, you understand, or you see what you think. How is it possible? Body doesn't think, but the mind thinks. And even when the prana leaves the body is left. The sukshma shariram leaves the body and assumes another shariram. So that is the difference between the stula shariram and the sukshma shariram and the karana shariram. And in total, in all the 3 bodies are the jiva identified with. Now, this Brahma is reflected in all the shariram and it is recognized as me, as the individual, as jiva in the antakaranam. In the antakaranam. In the antakaranam only, this I, ahankara, mama, mamakara, all these things are there. Body doesn't say I, or body doesn't say mama. The mind. Because of the mind only, we say this body is my body. This is my body, these are my people. So, therefore, in the antakaranam, the chaitanyam, the total chaitanyam, the consciousness, what we call Brahma, it is reflected and it gets a name, jiva. And when we say jiva, the one who has got abhimana with this 3 shariram, sahayeva jivaha, the jiva alone, by prakritya, by nature. Nature means by ajnanam, ajnanena. He thinks himself to be different from Ishvara. Bhinnatvena janati. Considers Ishvara. Ishvara is the total. That is the Chaitanyam. Ekam Brahma. Brahma is Ekam. He considers that Ishvara, the Lord, as different from oneself. It means Jiva thinks Ishvara as different from him. So Jiva considers, or he thinks, Ishvara to be different. One Ishvara alone manifests in the form of different Jivas. Therefore, Jiva thinks, I am different from another Jiva. The world is different from me. And the Creator also is different from me. Therefore, there is There is an appreciation of the difference between jivas and the appreciation of difference between jiva and Ishvara. That is because of prakritya ajnanena, because of ajnanam, because that ajnanam, because of this abhimana with this shariram, this close identification with the shariram. Therefore, there is jiva jiva beda, there is jiva jagat beda, there is jiva ishvara beda. There is beda, there is difference at the level of jiva jiva. Between two jivas, there is difference. Between jiva and the jagat, there is difference. And jiva and the ishvara, jivatma, paramatma, beda. I am different from the other jivas. And I am in the world interacting with the world. Therefore, the world is different from me. And the world has got the creator, Srishtikarta, Ishvaraha. He must be different from me. Therefore, I consider myself to be different from the other jivas and the jagat and the Ishvara. By what? By prakritya. Prakriti is ajnana. That is what our capital is. We start our life with this ajnanam. Everybody starts their life with this ajnanam. Ajnanam as the capital. Nothing wrong to start with this capital, but to continue with the capital is a problem. Everybody is born ignorant only. But how many will attempt to remove the ignorance? That makes a difference. Manushyanam sagastreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatadamapi siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvataha. Bhagavan Krishna beautifully says in the Bhagavad Gita. Among thousands of people, only few. One will strive, one will attempt to know. And among them also, only one will succeed in understanding one's Swarupa. So, such a rare thing is happening. Durlabam traime vaitat devanugraha etukam manushyatvam mumukshutvam mahapurusha samshayaha. Viveka Chudamani Bhashyakara says, Shankaracharya says, Manushya Janma is difficult. And having obtained the Manushya Janma, mumukshutvam is very difficult. And mahapurusha samshaya, that is Guru Upasadanam, Guru Prapti is still difficult. So, unless if the person has gained punya, it is not possible. Shata janma koti sukritai punni gnana labhyate. Shankaracharya says Viveka Chudamani. So, therefore, attempting to know by removing this ignorance, for that one should have done a lot of punya. Without punya, it is not possible. And moksha is not possible without this knowledge. Therefore, punyam is required to get this knowledge, and without this knowledge, moksha is not possible. If the person is really interested in moksha, that is interested in removing the ignorance and knowing the nature, the swarupam of oneself, that alone is moksha, then one has to work. That is what we saw in Kathopanishad recently also. Prayatnaha yatnaha kartavyaha iti. So therefore, here, prakritya by nature, by the ignorance is there. It is not something which is created. Ignorance is we are born ignorant. But Bhagavan has given the free will. He has given the opportunity. Ignorance is not our problem. It is, we need not blame ourselves for being ignorant. But at the same time, Bhagavan has given the free will. He has given the free will to continue with ignorance or to remove it. That he has given. For that we have to apply our buddhi, viveka buddhi. If we continue with ignorance, then ignorance born, the conclusions are there. So we will continue with those conclusions, and therefore we suffer. That is called samsara. So all our problem are or because of our the conclusions based on this ajnanam. The conclusion is this: I am this body, mind, sense complex. That is a conclusion. It means I limit myself. I, the Brahma, is limited to this body. Therefore, I consider myself to be a limited person. When the limitedness comes, there all the problems come. The sense of insecurity, the sense of wanting happiness, the sense of wanting to be complete. So one considers oneself to be a parichinna, a limited being. So where there is limitedness, there samsara is. Where there is limitedness, there is the effort or the activity, the action to make oneself complete. That will never happen by dharma, artha, kama, purushartha, striving all the time to be complete by gaining things or objects or people. It is not going to make oneself complete. So the completeness must be the swarupa of the person. Therefore, to understand that jnanam is required. Jnanam only removes ajnanam. Therefore, ajnanam is the moola karanam for samsara. Even though we are born ignorant, at the same time, Bhagavan has given this free will. Bhagavan has given the buddhi by which this ajnanam can be removed. So therefore, being born ignorant is not a curse. It is how everybody starts their life. That is a capital what we have. And because of that ignorance only, Ishwaram swasmat bhinnatvena janati jivaha. Jiva considers himself to be different from Ishvara. Here Ishvara is said, we can bring in that I am different from the Jagat, I am different from other jivas. That all can be brought in. Everything appears to be different. So I am different, everything is different. When there is this appreciation of difference, there only the problem of limitations come. Then Bhagavan is there, I am there. So I am different from Bhagavan. That is called self-alienation. You isolate or you separate yourself from Bhagavan. You separate yourself from Bhagavan and you have to specify, you have to be all the time, you have to be with the all the time, you have to have the concurrence or the consent of Bhagavan. So if Bhagavan becomes like your master or Bhagavan becomes like your father, a disciplinarian. Therefore, instead of having love or bhakti for Bhagavan, there is fear of Bhagavan. That is how the people in the beginning, even the children are taught. There is, they create a fear. Bhagavan is not a thing to be afraid of. When there is fear, there is alienation, there is isolation, self-isolation. When you isolate from Bhagavan, when you isolate from the limited, that's a problem. That is, how can you isolate from the Bhagavan, unlimited, from the infinite? So if you isolate means you choose to be finite. You cannot be finite. Your Swarupa is not different from Bhagavan, and therefore you cannot become finite. But if you choose to be finite, that is again ajnanam only. Choosing to be finite, that whether it is deliberately done or it is done helplessly because of ajnanam. That is called self-alienation. Alienating oneself from Bhagavan, and therefore a person suffers from the samsaric problems. So therefore, the differences are not real differences. The jiva difference, the jiva jagat difference, the jiva ishvara differences, even though the jiva at the level of this shariram, he sees a difference, but what the Shastram says is, these differences are only at the superficial level, are only at the level of shariram, only at the level of upadhi. They are not really different, essentially different. They are essentially not different. That is what the Shastram says. They are different at the level of upadhi, even though they are different at the level of upadhi, but essentially they are not different. Surupataha kopi bedaha nasti jiva ishvara yogo. That is called aikyam jiveshvara aikyam. In the next line, the author introduces what is the upadhi. The total as upadhi, then jiva as upadhi. Then both the upadhis will be dismissed as mithya, and the content of the upadhi, which is consciousness, and that is equated for both jiva and ishvara. That is how it is going to be presented. So in the next line, the upadhi is being described. What is this jiva? Jiva is, definition of jiva is given. Definition of jiva from the standpoint of the upadhi, and the definition of ishvara from the standpoint of is upadhi. Let us read that. Avidya upadhi san atma.
Avidya upadhi san atma.
Atma.
Jiva iti uchyate.
Jiva
iti
iti
uchyate.
Maya upadhi san atma.
Maya
upadhi
san
atma.
Ishvaraha iti uchyate.
Ishvaraha iti uchyate.
Uchyate, it is said. What is said? This Atma. Atma is what is Atma? Already discussed Atma. Satchit Ananda Atma. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Atma kaha, there we saw Satchit Anandaha Atma. So Jagar Sapna Sushupti Avastha Traya Sakshi Sachidananda Rupaha Sanya. That Atma is that Atma is called Jiva. The Atma, which is Chaitanyam, consciousness, is called Atma, which is limitless, that otherwise called Brahma. There is no difference between Atma and Brahma. If you understand Sat Chit Ananda, Satyam Jnanam Anantam, it is Atma, it is Brahma. So you use the word Atma or Brahma, no problem. Both are same. Use different words from the standpoint of the Upadhi only. So Brahma, Atma, they are not different. Therefore, Avidya Upadhisan Atma or Avidya Upadhisan Brahma, we can say. Upadhisan means that is the one Avidya Upadhi. Yasya Saha, the one who has got Avidya as his Upadhi, being Avidya Upadhi. The Atma being the one which has got Avidya as his Upadhi is called Jiva. Avidya as the Upadhi is called Jiva. That is Atma having Avidya as its Upadhi. Upadhi means the medium of reflection, manifestation. That is the medium, that locus for manifestation. Where there is Avidya Upadhi, and there the Abhimana with the Upadhi, the one who has got Abhimana with the Upadhi, it is called Jiva. In other words, you can say Atma, when it dresses himself with this avidya, then it is called Jiva. As a person decorates himself with varieties of this dresses, ornaments, costumes, similarly, when the Atma dresses itself with this avidya upadhi, then it becomes Jiva. The dress is not the Swarupam of the Atma. Dress can be separated. Dress can be thrown. When you throw your dress, you don't throw yourself. Right? Therefore, it is mithya. So, upadhi is mithya. So, the Atma having this avidya as its upadhi is called Jiva. Similarly, Ishvara, Maya upadhisan Atma or Brahma is called Ishvara. The same Brahma or Atma alone, when it has got the Maya as its Upadhi, then it gets the name Ishvara. So, Maya is Samashti Upadhi, total Upadhi. Avidya is individual Upadhi. Avidya is individual Upadhi. So, the same Atma, when seen through Avidya Upadhi, is called Jiva. When it is seen through Maya Upadhi, is called Ishvara. So, therefore, the Jivatvam or Ishvaratvam, it is not for Atma. The Jivatvam, the status of being a Jiva, is it there for Atma? No. It is not intrinsic to Atma. Similarly, the Ishvaratvam is not intrinsic to Atma. Atma being what it is, Brahma being what it is. Based on the Upadhi only, it is called Jiva and Ishvara. So, the same Atma, the same Brahma, with reference to Avidya, it is called Jiva. With reference to Maya, is called Ishvara. Upadhi Bhedataha, because of Upadhi, they got different names, Jiva and Ishvara. The Jivatvam, Ishvaratvam, that is Mithya, because Upadhi is Mithya. So, the Jivatvam and Upadhitvam is Mithya. The difference is because of Upadhi only. Therefore, Upadhi being Mithya, therefore the Satyam is Atma is Satyam, the Brahma is Satyam. That is same in the limited Jiva and as well as in the Samashti Upadhi, Maya Upadhi. There is no difference. So, intrinsically, essentially at the Swarupa level, they are same only. So, therefore, Stula Sharira Abhimani Atma, the one, the I, identified with the Stula Sharira is Jiva, is called Jiva, and the Jiva Namakam Pratibimbam, the Brahma Pratibimbam is called Jiva Namakam, and this Jiva with the Avidya, this Jiva is one who has got this Avidya Upadhi, and Atma, Avidya Upadhi is an Atma, is called Jiva. The Atma gets the name Jiva when it is in association with Avidya Upadhi. So therefore, Jiva is Brahma Pratibimbaha. Brahma Pratibimbaha means Jiva is not Stula Shariram or Sukshma Shariram. Jiva is Atma. That's why Jivatma we say. Jiva is not Stula Shariram or Sukshma Shariram or Karana Shariram. That Atma with this Avidya Upadhi is called Jiva. Therefore, Atma is Jiva. That is why Jivatma. This Upadhi being Mithya, it is not the. It is like the reflecting medium. It is the medium where it is reflected. So that is not the content of the Atma. So therefore Jivaha is Atma. That is what we call Jivatma. Similarly, extending the same thing to at the level of total Ishvara. Ishvara is Atma. That's called Paramatma. So now is there any difference between Jivatma and Paramatma? Both are Atma only. Both are Chaitanyam only. Because of Avidya, there is difference. Because of this Upadhi. For the Jiva, it is called Avidya Upadhi. The Upadhi is called Avidya. For the Ishvara, it is called Maya Upadhi. Avidya meaning ignorance. Ajnanam. Avidya is a name also given for the Upadhi. So here Avidya for the Jiva, that Avidya is a name given for the Upadhi. Shastram uses Avidya as a name for the Upadhi. Why? Because of this Avidya only is considered himself to be a limited Jiva. So why Jiva feels being isolated and why it is miserable? Because he considers himself to be the limited being. That is because of Ajnanam. Jiva has Ajnanam. Therefore, this Ajnanam as though becomes a Upadhi for this Jiva. Ishvara doesn't have Ajnanam. If Ishvara also has Ajnanam, then it's a problem. Ishvara is Sarvajna. He is the creator, Srishtikarta. He knows everything. Sarvam Janati, Sarvajnaha. So, Ishvara doesn't have this Avarana Shakti or Avarana Shakti. That if Ishvara's Buddhi, the Jnanam, is not covered by Ajnanam. Maya to Prakritim Vidyam, Mayinam to Maheshwaram. He is a Mayavi. He is the one who under whose Ajna or under whose command this Maya operates. Whereas for a Jiva, it is not the case. He is under the influence of Avidya. Jiva is under the influence of Avidya. Ishvara is not under his influence only. This Upadhi is there. Therefore, for Jiva only, this Upadhi, this Avidya Upadhi is a problem. For Ishvara, it is, for the total, it is not a problem. It is its Vibhuti. It is its glory. But it is a Upadhi only. So, therefore, identified with this limited Upadhi, Avidya Upadhi, the Jiva is called Atma, and identified with the total Upadhi, Ishvara is called, the Atma is called Ishvara. So therefore, Jivatma and Paramatma. Because of Upadhi, there is difference. Because of Upadhi, there seems to be difference, but Upadhi is Mithya. Does Upadhi stand alone? Upadhi cannot stand because this Upadhi, which is made from, just come from this Panchabhuta, and Panchabhuta has come from Brahma. Therefore, this Upadhi, they are nothing but Nama Rupa, like the pot, the name and its form, like they are Mithya. Similarly, this Upadhi is also is Mithya. It is not independent. They do not stand without the Satya Atma. Therefore, they are Mithya. Therefore, dismissing that, considering only the nature of the one who has the Upadhi at the level of individual as well as total, that is Jivatma and Paramatma, they are one and the same. Both are essentially Chaitanyam. That is the Aikyam, Jiveshwara Aikyam. So at the level of Upadhi, there is difference. There is no question of equality at the level of Upadhi. But at the level of this nature, the Swarupa, the Swarupa, both are same. There is no difference. That is why we give the difference. This pot clay example or this water example. The water in the glass or water in the ocean. Both are water, both are H2O. There is no difference. That is the Aikyam. That is the Aikyam. So Jiva is Chaitanyam, Ishvara is Chaitanyam. They are not two Chaitanyam. Chaitanyam being only one. Therefore, I, the Chaitanyam, the Brahma, the Ishvara, enjoying this limited Upadhi. This Upadhi becomes, when you understand this Upadhi becomes a luxury. It becomes a Lila. This Upadhi becomes a enjoyment. Otherwise, this Upadhi becomes a problem. Identify this Upadhi, the Jiva will undergo the problem of samsara. Understanding this Upadhi is Mithya, and therefore Abhimana is not there with this Upadhi. In spite of having the Upadhi, this person enjoys the Upadhi and understand oneself to be that which is the Karanam of the total Upadhi, that is Ishvara. So that who is the Karanam? The one who is the Karanam of the Samashti is the Karanam of this individual, this Shariram also. Who is that Karanam? I am the Karanam, therefore Agam, Atma, Brahma, Asmi. That is the Aikyam, Jiva, Ishvara, Aikyam. When that jnanam happens in the person, then is no more influenced by this troubles, by the troubles of this individual upadhi. The body suffers, the body undergoes changes, but I, the Atma, the Brahma, Jagat Karanam Brahma, do not suffer, do not undergo change. I am the witness of all the changes happening to the upadhi. I, who is changeless, continues to be free as I was before. That is the message. So here the author just introduced what is Jiva and Ishvara. Next topic would be this Aikyam topic that we will see. I give an introduction. What is that Aikyam? We will see that in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवादः गुरुजी
ಧನ್ಯವಾದः ಗುರುಜಿ.
धन्यवादः गुरुजी.
धन्यवादः जी.